पॉलिसी मैच्योर होने पर क्लेम्स की बरवक्त अदायगी बहुत आसान, इसीलिए इंश्योरेंस सिर्फ जुबली लाइफ से।
Thank you so much for joining us on Jubilee Life Insurance presents Game Day as we're building up to Pakistan. Yes, 2022 finalists, Pakistan's first game in the 2024 T20 World Cup, where they're going to be taking on co-hosts USA in Dallas. And to talk about us, we know someone who knows Pakistan cricket really well, having spent time in the PSL as coach of Multan Sultans and also former Zimbabwe international, the one and only Andy Flower. Andy, thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to get straight to the meat. Babar Azam being restored as captain before this tournament, Shaheen Shah Afridi captain before that, Imad Wasim coming out of retirement, Mohammad Amir coming out of retirement before this one. Are these just Pakistan things, Andy?
Expect the unexpected with Pakistan. That's what we've learnt over the years. Thanks very much for having me on. Arjun, great to be here. Yes, these there's always a lot that happens just before World Cups or big ICC tournaments with Pakistan, and usually if they don't go well, quite a lot happens just after them as well. So let's hope that things for this squad go very well and we see them again in the near future. Yes, Babar Azam back as captain, very experienced, very calm captain, and taking over from Shaheen, and I think that's a good thing, leaving Shaheen to concentrate on being the premier strike bowler for Pakistan.
Andy, just a word on this entire muddle that sort of happens before a tournament. Not everything goes according to plan, and we from the outside tend to think what's going on. But are these just normal Pakistan things, and they're used to it? They're very used to these kind of things happening. So just like normal stuff, normalcy is resuming over there?
I think in a way, and I don't mean this in a demeaning way. It's not a demeaning phrase, but they are used to operating in a little bit of cricketing chaos. Yes, so I think it is quite normal for them, and we might look from the outside and say, "Crikey, what's going on there on the decision making and structural front?" But they are quite used to these processes. They've got Gary Kirsten in now, which can only be a good thing for them. He's a very calm man, very experienced, both as a player and a coach. And I hope he brings a little bit of stability and consistency to their dressing room, and then it helps bring out this amazing talent resource that exists in Pakistan cricket and within their dressing room.
So, Andy, looking at their squad, finalists, of course, last time around in Australia, scoring is not too easy over here. So, for a team that doesn't score too heavily, you'd say tailor-made conditions for them. It's, everything set up for the seamers. The batsmen can take them time. Are you giving them a good chance this time around?
Yes, I think that's a very good point, Arjun, in that they've been heavily criticised. Their top order have been heavily criticised over the last 2 to 3, maybe even longer years, for playing within themselves and not extending themselves in much the same way that we've seen T20 cricket evolve, especially in this last IPL. So these more trying surfaces and predicted lower scores, I think, does play into the structure of their team. Players like Baba and Rizwan are highly skilled, highly experienced, courageous performers, and scrapping for runs might suit them better than the all-out attack that we've seen recently, with scores of 220 plus being the norm. So that'll be interesting to see whether these conditions really play into their hands.
Andy, you spoke about Mohammad Rizwan. Of course, you've coached him at Multan Sultans. What can you tell us about this guy that we don't really see on television screens?
Well, he's one of my favourite men in cricket, I've got to say. I loved working with him when he was captain. He is an outstanding individual with very high standards in many ways, in the way that he plays, in the way that he trains, in the way that he prepares for matches. And also in the way that he organizes his life. A very principled man, and plays with a big smile on his face. He loves the game, and he infuses people around him with that energy, and that's very much a part of leadership, isn't it? Influencing the people around you. And Mohammad Rizwan does that. And his batting and his keeping, I know he's not keeping at the moment because Azam Khan is keeping. But you'll see it in the field. You'll see that positive energy, that optimism, and he brings that out in all facets of his game. And it's wonderful to be part of.
Andy, I've got their record since that 2022 T20 World Cup, an appearance in the final. They've played 26 T20 internationals. They've won 9, they've lost 15, so a win percentage of a very poor 37.5. Having said that, if I've seen a lot of other international teams coming into this tournament, a majority of them are not playing their full-strength team. So a lot of these major sides, say South Africa, say in England, have also got these poor percentages, win percentages. So do you give too much importance to what you've done in between the World Cup, coming into a World Cup?
Actually, I would apply some importance to it because, as we all know, confidence and self-belief at this level are all important. And that goes for the individual that's taking on his fellow international competitors, or for teams. So I think confidence leading into World Cups is important. I would say, however, I'd have a proviso on that, particularly for the Pakistan team, in that they are known for being mercurial, and enigmatic and difficult to understand sometimes why they win or lose in the manner that they do, and so not being sure exactly of their ideal preparation, I don't think is going to affect them too much. So I think we can still expect some outstanding performances because they have physical talent. And if they can just get on a roll and build that confidence within their dressing room, then who knows what could happen for them.
Andy, you can see the quicks are getting assistance in this World Cup. And when you talk about quicks, none better than what Pakistan has to offer. And in a sense, that's their insurance. That fast bowling department, those 5 quicks are the insurance for the side. If you had to pick 3, let's say you're going with 3 into the 11, who would those 3 be?
Well, that would be a really simple decision for me. It would be Shaheen, Mohammad Amir, and Haris Rauf. Shaheen for the attacking, wicket-taking ability. Yes, perhaps not perfectly suited for this surface, but still swings the ball, hits the stumps a lot, and he's got a lot of experience now. Mohammad Amir is a good performer. His last couple of years with the ball in franchise cricket have been excellent. And then Haris Rauf with his pace and bounce, and he's got a good off-cutter slower ball. I think he will be the most suited to this pitch. I would imagine, though, on this pitch they're going to play 4-seamers. Mm-hmm. So I think the choice is between Naseem, Shah, and Abbas Afridi, and I think they'd go for Naseem. Abbas Afridi is probably a young bowler with tons of potential, but probably better suited with his variations to pitches that are flatter than this. Whereas Naseem, if he bangs out length at pace, that is what can be dangerous on this pitch.
That's a mouth-watering lineup, Andy. Given with the way the conditions are getting, the 4 of them coming at you from both sides, who knows what they could do in this tournament?
Yes, exactly. I mean, those are very attacking players, aren't they? If you add to those quicks the Shadab Khan, who bowls pretty good leg spin. He's a proper all-rounder. He can hit the ball and he's a brilliant fielder. And Imad Wasim, who is a specialist new ball bowler and a very canny cricketer. Mm-hmm. That's a really good attack, actually. And we know that good attacks put you in with a very good chance of getting to playoffs and doing well in franchise tournaments or World Cups. So they are still a force to be respected.
As far as the batting is concerned, Andy, there is that toss-up between Usman Khan, there is Azam Khan as well. If you had to pick one of the two, who would you go with?
I think on these surfaces, I would go with Usman Khan. I know Usman Khan from, he was a Multan Sultans player. and has also played in other franchise tournaments with me. Azam Khan, I do respect for the power and range that he's got as a powerful batsman. But I think on these surfaces you need some canny batsmen, and I think Usman Khan is exactly that. He can score quickly, yes, but he can adjust his game and play late and punch into areas by playing late. That might be a really useful method on these surfaces.
One final question, Andy, and that on the US of A. Started the tournament with a win over Canada. Are you expecting a surprise in this one?
I think Pakistan, and it's probably a really obvious answer, I expect them to be too strong. I think their bowling attack is just too good. They will be able to create chances. What I do like about the USA is they've got a bit of attacking power in their batting. We saw what it was Aaron Jones, I think, who scored 90 or 40 balls the other day. They've got Andries Goose, who I think has South African heritage and is a good competitor. They've got Corey Anderson, who played a bit for New Zealand and has played quite a lot of franchise cricket and had success. And then a few good operators with the ball, actually. Ali Khan with his outswing, skiddy, quick outswing. Saurabh Netravalkar is a very canny left-arm swing bowler. And so I wouldn't take them lightly, but I think they will get overpowered.
Andy, thank you so much for your time. Andy Flower will be with us throughout our broadcast of the T20 World Cup. You, of course, were watching our build-up to USA versus Pakistan. You were watching Jubilee Life Insurance presents Game Day.